What's up guys, David Land here, and today we are continuing our review, our full review of the Team Hot Wheels Pro Racing Kart segment from early 1998, but using cars based on the 1997 Kart IndyCar World Series. And this review is particularly special for a couple of reasons. Number one, the driver that the diecast is representing, Alex Zanardi. Now, if that name doesn't ring a bell to you, Alex Zanardi is a two-time kart, or IndyCar if you want to call it, champion, and he was injured terribly in a crash in 2001, in which he lost both of his legs in just an absolutely terrifying crash at the Speedway Lausitz, in which his car spun off of the warm-up lane and was bisected by another car, and his legs were instantly gone. And after a long recovery, Alex actually survived the accident, and not only survived but thrived and came back to complete the final 13 laps of the race. Oh, by the way, he was leading when this crash happened to him. But he completed the final 13 laps of the race using a car equipped with hand controls, and an absolutely incredible achievement. And he could have just gone into retirement right then and lived with his friends and his family for the rest of his life very comfortably, but he decided to keep going, and he actually, using cars with hand controls, won races in the World Touring Car Championship with BMW, and more recently he has gone into the Paralympic Games, the Olympic Paralympic Games, and he's won several gold medals, silver medals. I think he's medaled almost every time he's raced in hand cycling. That's his sport, and it's amazing achievement. In fact, at the Rio Games, I believe he took home a gold and a silver, and he's almost 50 years old. What an incredible achievement. Oh, and fun fact, the Rio Olympics were built on the site where the Rio kart race was held, where this car raced. Alex Zanardi never had a win at the Rio kart race, but he did have a pole position in 1996. So I think that's all the information about Alex Zanardi. That's a very brief history. He's an incredible individual, and someone I would describe as a hero in the highest regard. If you can read his book, go read his book. It's called My Sweetest Victory. It's an incredible story. And just what an inspirational individual, and man, you can't say enough about Alex Zanardi. And perhaps burying the lead a bit, this weekend also marks the final race for Target in IndyCar racing, period. As a footnote, it's definitely something I wanted to do, and it's a great way to give tribute to not only Target, but definitely Alex Zanardi, both of which are just stalwarts and legends in the sport, and I couldn't be happier to show off this diecast. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a close look at the box real quickly. As you can see, here's the diecast in the box. This was part of that big lot I bought on eBay. If you watched the David Land buys, you would have seen that. It's a part of the collector's edition, first edition 1998 Team Hot Wheels Pro Racing, specifically designed for the adult collector. That's me! It's a die-cast body and chassis, detailed interior, and deluxe rubber quote-unquote tires. Here's the back of the box where you can get some information about Alex Zanardi. We already did our one of these videos on Michael Andretti. So if you haven't checked that video out, go ahead and check that out. That was on a Swift body. This is a Reynard, so it's our first Reynard review. And here's a look at the 1998 Kart World Series schedule. Beautiful design. I actually do quite like this the design on these boxes a lot. They're very beautiful, so that's why I won't be destroying the packages. I've got an X-Acto knife over there. I'm going to try to just carefully cut along the side of the box so I can get the diecast out and show it to you guys. So let's do that. I'll do a quick cutaway. I won't torture you by making you watch box unboxing, and let's take a look at the diecast. So here it is, Alex Zanardi's 1997 Reynard Honda Firestone out of the box, and my goodness is this one a beauty. Boy, Hot Wheels just knocked it out of the park with this model. Just so beautifully accurate. Just wonderful, 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 wonderful looking diecast. With the, I mean, and thank God they did a Target car. Let me just say that, because yeah, for whatever reason, Target cars were kind of hard to come by. I guess they were tough with the license. I mean, Racing Champions did a ton of them, but outside of that, I think maybe Action did a couple. But Hot Wheels always kind of focused on some smaller teams when they did kart stuff. So getting a Target car and getting the 97 champion diecast, or at least a diecast representing the 97 champion, is absolutely fantastic. As you can tell, this car is in the super speedway aero package for kart back in those days. This was a year before they introduced the Hanford device at Michigan International Speedway. And if you don't know what a Hanford device was, it was essentially a little block that went on the rear wing that created some incredible drafting by creating a bunch of drag off of the back. And when a car is going 240 miles an hour, all that draft would create a wake so that another car would pick up. But this configuration was run, I think, at Homestead, Gateway, Michigan, and Fontana of 97. I think those were all the ovals, the big ovals that they ran this wing configuration at. So here's the trading card, an upper deck trading card that you get with this. I also have one for Michael Andretti. You can see Alex Zanardi and his driver's suit, and a little bit of an engraving there of his signature. Absolutely fantastic. And here's the back, and it's just a beautiful, another beautiful, just a very, now this photo is very nostalgic. I was a kid who grew up reading IndyCar Racing magazine. My dad had a subscription, and I just read like every episode, or every magazine from those days. And it was like 97 and 98 were the magazines that I read, and they always took photos of these beautiful Target cars with the bolt, the lightning bolt paint scheme. Man, that's a nostalgic look right there. Just very, very nostalgic for me. It says, Zanardi was awarded with the 1997 championship title after putting together a season that included 5 wins. Zanardi accumulated 195 points, pulling in 7 straight top 5 finishes. He actually had a better 98 season. He clinched the championship by like July, and it went to like October. Zanardi, when he was on, Alex Zanardi, he was on. Just, again, an incredible individual. So as you can see, he made 16 starts in 1997, 5 wins, 11 top 5s, 12 top 10s, 4 poles, 3,278 miles completed, and he was the first placed guy in the point standings. So there was a, we will do this first before we go in for the close-up. This, as I mentioned in another review, this was not Hot Wheels' first Reynard foray. This is their other Reynard body. This was used in the Hot Wheels, Team Hot Wheels Pro Racing first edition segment of cars. It was also used, the one you're looking at, as a Happy Meal promo. But as you can tell, this version of the car, this version of the Reynard, is designed to go on Hot Wheels track. It's got plastic tires, it's got much fatter, wider stance, and that's not just the camera talking. If you look how much smaller the the Zanardi Reynard is to the Scott Pruitt Reynard in stature, and that's because they designed this car to be able to go on Hot Wheels track and go in boosters and stuff like that. Boosters, loops, and curves, I think, is the correct term. But yeah, they designed this car for Hot Wheels track, and they designed this one for the collectors. So as a collector, let's take a look at it. So absolutely fantastic detailing, if it would focus. There we go. Yeah, just beautiful, 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 beautiful lettering on the tires. I would say the Goodyear tires for Michael Andretti that I'm looking at right now, we'll take a look at as well next to this car. Maybe a little bit more accurate looking. But look at all these sponsors. A lot of sponsors that you just don't see anymore, like A1 Steak Sauce and Speed Stick, Gillette, the best the man can get. And here's those beautiful lightning bolts. Beautiful lightning bolts. I mean, if I had a car to define my childhood, it would probably be this car with the lightning bolts. Just kind of the poster child for a 90s kid who loved racing. Here's the detailing on the side. Just a lovely paint scheme. Look at all those beautiful sponsors. TDK, I'm pretty sure that's advertising VHS tapes. That's kind of funny in retrospect. I think VHS, the final VHS maker has finally gone out of business or stopped making new VHS. There's Haviland. Haviland is also on another car we're going to take a look at here in just a second. So it was funny to see them sponsor two cars, at least kind of not full time. But it's now, some people may say the wing being laid back like this is an error, and I would agree with that to a certain extent. But if you look at photos from the 97 Michigan 500, they laid these wings back a ton. These cars produced a ton of bottom side downforce, so they could lay the wings back quite a bit and still make it through the corners without being backwards on fire. But again, the mold is so perfect. It's so perfect. I mean, look at the proportions of this Reynard chassis. And if you are a kart fan or did love IndyCar racing or want to watch a race these days just on the YouTube, I mean, the proportions are perfect. They even got the dorsal fin just right. I mean, it's just right. Fantastic. So this is the first of two that I've reviewed from the Pro Racing segment. The other one was Michael Andretti's Swift Ford Goodyear from the Newman Haas stable. Now this car is on the road course, or has the road course wings. I almost said road course aero kit. That wouldn't have quite been correct, though it would have been technically correct, I suppose. But for whatever reason, when Hot Wheels modeled the Swift, they went with... as I run into the camera. When Hot Wheels modeled the Swift, they modeled the road course variant, and when they modeled the Reynard, they modeled the oval variant. Now, I'm kind of confused because the most success the Swift had was on the oval, particularly at the oval at Homestead, where it took its very first win in its first outing. The Reynard, well, it was successful on every kind of course, but you would think if they chose one car over the other to give the full oval treatment to, it would have been the Swift rather than the Reynard. But maybe that's just me. You never know what Hot Wheels is thinking with those sort of things. Also, I figured I just wanted to do this, and if you're a big like crap wagon person, you've made it this far, you might want to turn away now. But I wanted to get the old Bolt with the new Bolt next to each other. This is a Greenlight Indy car from this year, and just looking at how similar the schemes are. Certainly much wider, much bulkier Indy cars are these days. But just an interesting comparison for those of you who want to see Indy cars then versus now. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think the Hot Wheels 164, at least, I don't know, is there really that big of a size difference? I guess there is, because the front wing is longer, the cars are longer for safety reasons, to give the driver more protection, easy for me to say, in a frontward crash. And then when you've got the bumpers on there, it adds quite a bit of length to the car. But I think it's yeah, you know what, I think they're both in scale. And I think about it, I haven't seen like a Reynard next to a DW12, to be fair. But anyway, that was that comparison. Just a fantastic car. I'm so happy to have this car. And we will be taking a look at all of the Team Hot Wheels Pro Racing cars for all of them that they released, including the 1997 or the 1998 Preview Edition cars that are more of the kid-friendly cars. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube, and we will see you in the next video.